What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Underwater Fly Zone podcast. I think this is episode 6 of season 6. I'm 99% sure it is. We got a special episode for you here today. It's kind of random. We're doing some upcoming wedding advice, and I have two dudes, two of my best friends that I've known for as long as I can remember, here with me today. Both of them are getting married here very soon. Why don't y'all introduce yourselves and tell you what episode this is that you've been on?
So I'll go quickly. And Spencer, this is episode 2 of this season, but I think episode 6, maybe 7 overall for Underwater Fly Zone. So just excited to be back.
Yes, sir.
So my name's Jayce, and this is my first ever episode.
Welcome to the pod, Jayce. Let's go. Oh, that's loud. There we go.
And I'm just excited to be here.
Yes, sir. Jayce is one of our biggest supporters, y'all. I'll let everybody know. This dude has a nice merch collection. He's been loving the Fly Zone since literally episode 1. He was one of the couple people that actually have listened since the very first episode. So excited to have Jayce on here today. Why don't y'all tell us, when are y'all getting married? Let's just get into it right out the gate.
Okay, so I get married 11 days from when we are recording this podcast. It is on me and my fiance McKenna's 8-year anniversary.
Dang.
Our wedding is, so yeah, very, very close, about a week and a half away. I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting married 2 months from today, and actually 50 days after Spencer's wedding
Nice.
to my fiance, also named McKenna, but is a different person.
She spells it wrong, though.
No, she doesn't. But it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So 2 McKennas getting ringed up, huh?
Yeah.
Getting
And then
wiped
we are both in the other person's wedding as well. So
Nice.
It's a very busy couple of months.
Nice, dude. That's pretty crazy. I'm excited because that means I get to go to 2 weddings here in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome, dude. All right, so what are y'all's thoughts? Let's just start slow. How do you guys feel right now? You're really approaching the wedding. Like
Yeah.
the week this is gonna drop next Monday, and it's gonna be literally your wedding week. That's why I
Yeah.
knew we had to get this in today.
I mean, it's weird to think about because you can be like, oh my God, it's crazy it's happening. But we've been engaged for over 2 years.
Mhm.
Like I said, that'll be on our 8-year anniversary. It's not like it's sudden. It's not like it's surprising. I've had time to think about it. The weirdest thing is just that for over 2 years, it's been like, we're going to get married one day, and now we're there.
Yeah.
And it definitely, I mean, I think if looking back, maybe we do it sooner to when we got engaged, because it's like over 2 years, we were so excited. But it was going to be a year before we graduated from when we got engaged. So we were like, let's give ourselves over a year to plan it. It's cool. It's on our anniversary. But then a lot of it was planned before we even graduated a year later. So it's been nice because there hasn't been a stress of planning it quickly. But at the same time, like 2 years, I'm very ready for it. Like everything's ready.
Yeah.
I'm sure things will come up that morning, but like everything we can plan is done. And I'm ready for the day. And I'm excited for the honeymoon. Like I don't want to think too much about it, but like the honeymoon's also really fun. Like I'm just excited for all the stuff that comes with it.
Definitely. It is. Oh my gosh. It's the best week ever. Are you going right to the honeymoon right after?
So we aren't. She wanted to be in town. Her birthday is 10 days after our wedding.
Okay.
She wanted to be in town to celebrate her birthday with like family and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're going 2 weeks after.
That might be better because we literally left our wedding venue and went to the hotel, got on a plane the next morning, and like everything happened so fast, and we didn't even get to like sit down with the family and that post-wedding excitement type of thing.
We're going to an Airbnb like for the weekend, just to have like a little like mini weekend away with just us two.
Yeah.
But that's like we go there that Friday night and leave Sunday morning. So it's just a little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then our actual honeymoon it's 2 weeks of a honeymoon 2 weeks after the wedding.
Do you feel like, because I know whenever you just get engaged, you have all that wedding planning, and then like it's so much excitement. But then even for us, we were engaged for like 10 months. Like there gets to a point where it just kind of wears off, and then it gets exciting again as it approaches. But for you, 2 years, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say it ever wore off necessarily, but it was definitely phases and kind of eras of our life. I mean, the first year we were still in school.
Yeah.
So like other than summer breaks, we didn't do much other than like call each other fiance. Like there wasn't a lot of wedding stuff happening.
Yeah.
And then last year there was wedding planning, but there was also like we graduated, we're in the real world. And then there were 6 months where it's like, okay, most of it's done except for final things. So it was just kind of phases of different excitement and different emotions around it. But it was never not exciting or something we were looking forward to.
This is a bad comparison, but like Super Bowl week, they give you like 2 weeks off. It's like right when you make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's like, and we could actually talk about this because we're Chiefs fans. That's so crazy. But,
Yeah.
But dude, it's like we're so excited, and then like the weekend hits, and it's just like, okay, come on, let's just get to the day. Like,
I mean,
I'm tired of all this anticipation.
We got engaged on December 2nd. By the end of the year, had booked our venue. So we had, I think, 3 tours scheduled. We went to this one at this venue, and we got home and we were like, that was amazing. Like, I don't know what else a wedding venue could give us, but we have a tour tomorrow. Let's go to that. Weather canceled that tour. So we were sitting there that night and laying there, and I knew she really liked this one, but I was the one like, we should look at the others. And we were laying there, and I go, why would we look at others? She was like, what? I was like, I can't think of something another venue could offer that we wouldn't do that. And plus, in 2 weeks, when the year turns, it's gonna be more expensive. If we book now, we get to stick them at at this year's price. So let's just do it. And so then within like 2-3 weeks, we had the venue. Our venue, you have to use their bartender, DJ, caterer. Like, so much of it is done for us. It was. We didn't need 2 years. Like, looking back now, that was absolutely more time. We were being safe with that call, but every day that passed, I wish it was a day sooner. But like, now I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like, I'm excited to have the same anniversary and everything.
Definitely. And dude, yeah, that's how ours was. We went to our first venue, we loved it, and then we looked at like 6 other ones, and then we went with the first one we looked at. So we wasted some time.
It's like buying a car. Like, that's what my grandpa did. Was he exactly what you said. He looked at so many cars, bought the first one he looked at. Like, sometimes I was sitting there, I was like, we know. Like, we looking at the others would just be so we feel better about ourselves. Like, we know that this is the venue that we want. And now, over 2 years later, like, I still agree. I don't regret that decision at all. I'm glad that we went with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jayce, how about you, bro? Me and Spencer could talk all day.
I gotta start talking.
No.
So for us, it was very like, we got engaged December 30th, and Spencer was actually there to help the day that we got engaged, and so it was very cool. And when we get married, it'll be about 1.5 years after we've been engaged. So we're kind of similar, but they've been together a lot longer. Like, I mean, 8 years.
They've been together longer than anybody.
I know, like, that's like great for you guys. That's a crazy long time. But ours, when we get married, it will be on May 17th, and it will be 2.5 years of us being together.
Nice.
So it's like not super long, but not super short either. So a good amount of time.
Yeah.
We're kind of like with them, like, we wish we wouldn't have been engaged so long. Like, I would have much rather been like getting engaged in December and then getting married in summer. Like, I would have rather done it that way. But also, just like with the way our lives are, is like, she's graduating a year early, I'm graduating, and then we'll get married. So our timeline is we graduate May 10th, move into our apartment May 12th, get married May 17th. Like,
anybody else hear that?
Yeah.
Where is this? Oh, it's me.
That is not
Conlon Downey.
It was. Yeah.
I'll call him back later, bro. Anyways, yeah, dude. So how do you feel like 2 months out? You don't have a week out, but you are approaching that. How are you feeling, bro?
I'm very excited. I'm ready for the day. I mean, I think it's gonna be a good day. I am glad that I'm not a girl and have to take 5 hours to get ready though, because
oh my goodness,
like, she's like, oh, I have to have somebody for my hair or my makeup. Like, my mom has to help me with this, my sister has to help me with this. And I'm like, yeah, me and my groomsmen may go to lunch like an hour before we have to start getting ready. Like, we're not really worrying about it that much. And just like being able to spend time with like my friends right before I get married is also like something that I think is really cool. So it's just like, we're trying to get to that day because it's gonna fly by for me. Like, I mean, I'm still in school. Like, you guys are both working full time, but like, I still have 2 more months of classes, and then I'm done. So I'm counting down that, honestly, more than my wedding. Like, right now, this day, like, I'm just like, oh, I'm just ready to be done with classes. This stinks. Like, but no, it's definitely approaching.
That week turnaround you have is crazy. Because I'm like, oh my, I have such a busy couple months. Like, I got a wedding, honeymoon, Jayce's wedding. Jayce has also got my wedding. Then he's got graduation, moving to apartment, and his own wedding in a week, and a honeymoon. Like, like that few months for you is wild. Like, it's all good things.
Yeah.
But just kind of, that's nuts.
I think, and it's like, for me, I mean, I'm excited. Like, I get to move back to Kansas City. Like, I get to have the fun and like the triumphant return home. Like, I get to see all my friends. But like, for her, like, she's lived in this small town of Sterling, Kansas her whole life, never known anything different. Like, and we'll be moving back here. We'll be going to Cancun. Like, we're going, and it's going to be eye-opening for both of us. But like, for my soon-to-be wife, like, she has no idea like what to expect right now. So it's a process of like, we're going to do this like one step at a time. Like, this is how we have to do it. Like, it's okay. But it's very exciting.
One thing I don't think we ever talked about, because you guys live not super far away, but 3-4 hours away from each other from your hometown. What was the process and decision making about where to have your wedding? Because you ended up going a little bit closer to Sterling.
Yeah.
And I know like there's not a right or a wrong decision. You're going to be closer to some family and farther from the other. What kind of was the thought process behind that?
So for us, like we only really looked at venues closer to Sterling, and like nothing in a bad way. I mean, that's just kind of how things panned out. It's easier. Like my family, like if we're gonna talk about like how weddings are like old time to now, like old time is bride's family does a lot of stuff for wedding day, and like groom's family does rehearsal dinner and like all the other stuff. And so like for her family, like it was important to them and to my fiance that like it was closer to them so they could run to the venue if they have to and like get there if they're like, oh, we have to set this up right now, we have to go meet the person to see it. And like actually on this, so a week from yesterday, like so next Sunday we're going by to look at the venue again with her family and just like get measurements, know what we need to do. And also she has a lot more grandparents alive than I do. Like I have 2 grandparents alive that are gonna go to the wedding. She has I think 8. So like it's a lot easier for my grandparents to also travel than any of hers. Like my grandparents are in good health, good like physical condition. Like they can walk very well. Like they're fine.
Yeah. I mean, it helps. It's not like it's a 15-hour flight either way as
Right.
well. Like it's a 3-hour drive either way. So it's not like it's super taxing for your family. Like I'm going to drive a few hours to your wedding. Like that's not the end of the world either way. So I think that probably helps as well. Is just like, make the easy decision. Your family and your friends that care, or the 3 hours versus 3 minutes wouldn't it like for me it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah.
If it was here or it was in like Spokane, Washington, like I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, and it's like I've been very blessed with like my family and her family like helping us through this process. Because I mean, like I don't know about like for your wedding, but like my family was like, okay, like we'll help you with this, and like we're setting everything out and looking at it from like backwards, like from a different perspective. Like, is this what you want for your wedding? Is this what she wants for your wedding? Like, what do you guys want here? And so, like, I mean, we're a very, like, our wedding, like, we're going to be, like, very quick. Like, we're going to get married. We're going to go. We're going to eat dinner. Like, it's very, we don't want to be, I don't want to be standing for 45 minutes long. Like, 20, 30 minutes at most, please. Like, let's just, like, get through this. So, I mean, we're excited for it, though.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Has there been any struggles for y'all, like, planning your wedding and, you two want something, but then some outside person wants something else for you guys, and you're like, hold up.
So we had her parents, because you were talking about like the tradition, her parents did help pay for the wedding, but we had the conversation. We were like, we appreciate you guys wanted help, and we don't want to like push that away, but we also want to make sure we're on the same page of like, this is our like me and McKenna's wedding, not our wedding.
Yeah.
And if you guys feel like you paying means you are going to be able to help more, we'll pay for it. And luckily they weren't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to put it out like they're like they were, but we did that before they gave us any money of like,
that's smart.
This is our wedding. And my parents at their wedding, they let their parents, so my grandparents, give a list of like 10 or 15 names of here's who we want invited. We told our parents, we're like, we'll listen to you, but it's our wedding, not a family reunion. Like if we want to invite someone, we will. If we don't, we won't, kind of thing. The hardest part was we decided not to invite anyone under 18 if they weren't in the wedding. And so there's some family members that it definitely wasn't amazing to not invite. But like we had to make cuts somewhere. Yeah. If we were barely below the limit where if we had a certain amount of people or less, me and her got to have dinner at a private mezzanine instead of like in the floor with everyone. And we just barely got below that number. So the no kids thing kind of helped with that, but there was definitely some pushback on that, and I think some family members that decided not to come because of it. And it definitely, it stinks, but those kind of decisions are ones that like we were like, this is our wedding, not anyone else's. Yeah. And it also changed my opinion of other people's weddings of like, you're not doing anything that I wouldn't, but if you were, I wouldn't judge you because like it's your wedding, it's your day. Whatever you want to happen, you get to decide. If I disagree with that, maybe I don't come, but like I'm not going to tell you that because it's your wedding.
100%. For me, at the beginning of our wedding planning and kind of stuff, like, I mean, everything was like I don't want to say a big shock to like both of our families, because I mean, we're both in my family and her family the first people to get married. Like, I have an older brother, he's not married. Like, I have a younger brother, obviously he's not married. Yeah. And McKenna's the oldest in her family, so for them it was kind of like, okay, like, what do we do here? Like, how do we do this? They've never been in charge of planning like a wedding or anything, obviously. So at first it was kind of like, oh, I think you should do it this way. I think you should do it this way. And it was like both sides. like wanted certain things, and I mean we talked and heard both ideas, and we were kind of the same boat as you guys. Like at the end of the day, like it's our wedding. We wanted to hear everybody's ideas. Like we want the input, because I mean we don't know how to plan a wedding.
Yeah.
I have no idea how to plan a wedding. I don't know what goes into it, and I mean at the end of the day, if we wouldn't have had both of our families, there's no way we would have been able to do all this. Like
You definitely.
this planning is a lot, and we also McKenna and I are doing like kind of like a counseling thing with my college tennis coach, and he's helped us a lot about like decisions, like financially, spiritually, like all that sort of stuff. So it's been very eye-opening to look at and like gain more knowledge on like what it takes to be married and not just the wedding.
Yeah, definitely. Because some people just want to have the wedding, but they forget, oh, now you're married.
Yeah.
That's true. But no, I asked that question because that's a difficult thing to navigate that you don't think about until it's like you plan the wedding. Next thing you know, you have somebody saying, I want it this way. And it's like, hold up now. Hold up. Who's getting married? You know what I'm saying? But no, that's a tough thing to navigate. And yeah, look out for that. Anybody watching. I didn't deal with much of that either.
Yeah, there's definitely there hasn't been anything that's taxing. I think the hardest part for us was figuring out how to deal with when me and her disagreed on something. Because if my parents told me something that they wanted that I didn't, that was almost easier for me to be like, I value your opinion, but no, thank you. But when we are on a different page, we have to find an answer, because if we choose one or the other, we're not choosing someone's opinion. And so there was a few things where one of us would be like, no, this matters a lot to me. And the other would be like, okay, because that's what a good like that's part of compromise is not always. Compromise isn't always finding the middle ground. Yeah. And so like one thing, I wanted the traditional, like, I don't see her at all on the wedding day till she walks down the aisle. And she took a while. I still think that she would prefer not to do that, but she understood it was important to me and is letting that happen. Like, we're not staying at the same place the night before. We're not seeing each other. Like, some people go get breakfast or whatever. And I understand if people want to do that. I think you guys are. But like for us, I want to not see her on March 28th until 6:05 when she was walking down the aisle. And
that's
like
pretty cool.
That was one of the I think I might have had like one other thing that I was like, no, this is like, this is what I want to find. Most of the other stuff I was willing to give ground and like find a middle ground. But that was a harder thing to navigate, was when we were on totally different pages of something, and like confidently, not like, oh, I was thinking this, and they said something, you go, okay, yeah, sure. Because I didn't care strongly for this thing. But sometimes I was like, no, I want this. She said, I want that. Finding the middle ground.
Yeah. That what you just talked about there, we were trying to do the same thing, and then we were looking at like the schedule for the day, and we were just like, dude, we did a first look. Do you know what that is?
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, because that morning, and you said this earlier, dude, we went to La Fuente, bro. Like, we were hanging out at my cousin's house. We went to La Fuente. We were hanging out. It was just a good time. And then Macy, they're getting ready from like 8 a.m.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I think it was more of just like the vibes. Like, they got breakfast and pajamas and all that. It's like, y'all literally changed into pajamas. It's like, y'all didn't even sleep in that, bro.
Yeah. No, they paid to get in early and to have a brunch at the venue and get their stuff done there. Because normally they don't let anyone in. They let the bride and the bridal party in at 2, grooms and my party in at 3. They paid to get in, I think it's like 10 or 11, have a brunch, get ready there. And I'm like, I told everyone, like, come over by like noon. We'll get some lunch. We'll leave at like 2:15, 2:30.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much easier.
Definitely.
And see, for mine, like, our venue has like a big Airbnb right next to our venue. So it's like we get our venue from Friday at 10 a.m. to Sunday to 2 p.m. So like, we're Friday night rehearsal dinner, Friday night, if the groomsmen can make it, spend the night at the Airbnb. The girls will also be at the Airbnb, but on a different floor. And there's ways in this Airbnb that you can go around without seeing each other. So it's like, it works perfect. Like,
dude, that's pretty legendary.
Like, the guys are going to be in the basement. The girls will be up, and they'll get ready at the Airbnb, and so will the guys. But like, I already talked to my groomsmen. I'm like, we're gonna like go get lunch.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
In a town that's 20 minutes away. Like, we're gonna have a lot more relaxed time than they do, because they're like, oh, like, wake up, eat breakfast, like maybe drink a mimosa, like get ready. I was like, yeah, like, we don't have to worry about that as much as they do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna like wet my hair and put a comb through it, and then I'm done.
I was like, I'll shower like an hour before I actually have to get into my suit. Like, I'll be fine.
All my guys were messing my hair up before the photo shoot. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude, that is so crazy. All right, well, shoot, we're at 19 minutes. I want to switch the camera and then give us a fresh 30.
Okay.
Let's get it. All right, so we kind of talked about the wedding coming up. What's some nervous things or what's some like uncertain things that y'all have, or is there even any of that? I feel like as dudes, it's a little different because if you would have asked me that, I don't know if I would have had an answer. But the day of, I kind of got nervous at times. But like leading up, I don't know. So what y'all thinking?
I feel like I've been going first a lot.
Okay,
So you
I'll
go
go
ahead.
first. I wouldn't say like necessarily nervous. I guess like there's some things that I'm like I question. I'm like, okay, are we gonna have everything set up like the way that we envision it and like see it being set up, since we aren't setting it up the day of? And like that's something McKenna and I are like, we have to like have a detailed plan of everything we want because we want it to be our way and not like somebody being like, oh, this looks good, we should do it like this. And because like we're not doing the traditional like cake for everybody, like we're having a donut wall, and like
That's
nice.
So
like,
cool.
it's something that McKenna is like a big donut fan, and like I mean that's just how it is. Like so we're like, okay, why would we waste money on a fancy cake for everybody when sometimes people don't even eat cake?
Yeah.
Like they'll get a plate and just put it on the table. And like donuts, like you have to go up there and grab it if you want it. Like it's not being served to you. So
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't eat it, they don't eat it. But like more for everybody else.
Uh-huh.
And so like I guess like I'm also nervous for some of her like the things that she's worried about, I'm worried about, and I'm like, this doesn't affect me. Like I don't need to be worried if her hair is gonna look exactly how she wants it. Like, and I'm like, she is worrying about it over and over. And I'm like, okay, you're gonna start worrying me. You gotta get this figured out. I mean, nothing too bad, honestly.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think for me, I'm a very anxious person, if anyone doesn't know. And so what's nice about our venue is they do everything for us. Like I was talking about, we use their vendors. They do the design. Like we've met with the guy. He knows what like design to do. So there's not a lot on our plate, but I just get worried of like, there's going to be little things that annoy us, or I'm a planner and like a doer. That day is like a follow around and go where you're told kind of thing. I'm not the one doing the leading. Like I'm going to go here, take a picture, go here, get married, go here, eat. And not being the one planning that is a little nerve wracking. But how I kind of get over it is because McKenna has the same thing. She's like, I'm worried we're forgetting something. And at this point, it's a little too late. Like we're past that because like if we've forgotten something now, probably not going to remember.
Yeah.
But the way I helped her get past it was like, will we be there? Will there be someone to marry us? Will we have a marriage license to sign? Okay, everything else is kind of extra. Like, we obviously want the day to be perfect. We want you have the donut wall. We're doing a cheesecake instead of a regular cake because she likes cheesecake, and we're doing mini bundt cakes for the guests. Like, yeah, it's great to have a cheesecake. Yeah, it's great if this. Yeah, it's great if that. If we get married that day, everything else is just extra. Like everything else is a good time and cool. Like that's how I have kind of gotten over the stress because I'm not. You were like, we're guys. We don't get nervous. I'm always nervous.
Yeah,
I'm like the Hulk. It's my secret.
Fair, yeah.
I'm always anxious. I'm always worried about something, but it's whatever. If my pants rip on the dance floor, it's like cool. But I got married today. Like what do you like? I'm invincible that day. There's nothing you can say to me or do to me because I'm getting married to I've been with McKenna since I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Like it's been a dream come true for 2,900 days. Which I know because I think I put that in my vows. How many days?
Nice.
How many days it will have been at that point?
Are y'all like reading your vows at the ceremony?
We are doing. I know me and Jayce are doing it differently. We're doing ours in the ceremony because I am a performer and I wanted to. And so like, it's like a bit. Like it's kind of a stand-up routine, but also like sentimental. But I wanted to do it in front of people.
Yeah.
Also, partially is like for me, I don't do like big public displays of affection to McKenna, and so I wanted to be able to do that as well. So yeah, we're doing that'll be the bulk of our ceremony, I think. Like not that it'll be long. We have the same thing. I don't want to be up there for an hour. But her dad's marrying us, and we were like, let's keep it simple. Like let's do what we have to do, and like move on.
And see, for us, I would be fine either way. Like if she wanted me to talk in front of everybody and say my vows, I could do it. Like, would I cry? Probably. Like, I honestly think after you and Macy's wedding, that's a big reason we're not doing them in public.
Oh crap!
She saw you guys cry, and she's like,
I didn't cry at all, bro. If y'all were at my wedding or watched the wedding video, yeah, I did cry a little bit.
I mean, like
a little bit.
Yeah,
I couldn't talk for like
crazy.
2 minutes. Like, oh, that was bad.
2 dead silent minutes after wedding. Just
and it's like 95 degrees. Just,
so hot, dude.
Yeah.
Everyone's just watching me not be able to get a word out.
like we're doing our first look and we're gonna do our vows with our first
Nice.
look. Like that's how, and like I like that. Like I like it being private and it just being between us. Like the
Yeah.
words we share are just us.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's cool. But
That's definitely valid. I mean, every opinion is valid, right? In this situation, I kind of agree. Well, I like what we did, and I like Spencer. Kind of the reason I like what we did is because I feel like I liked being able to publicly display my affection for Macy or whatever. Even though it was rough, it was definitely rough.
Well, kind of in between, because I want to do that public display, but there's certain things that are more intimate, not in like a sexual way, like in a relationship way that you can't share in the public vows that you can in a private one.
Yeah.
So we're writing each other letters to read that morning because
really?
that's where I can get kind of some more of that stuff. Can I curse on this?
I don't care.
So I have I have a letter on the front.
Wait.
I have a letter. I have a letter, and on the front it says, "Holy shit, we're getting married today," and that's what I'm writing in it. But that was kind of in between because we thought about it, and it was that same thing where there's certain things that I won't and can't and wouldn't say in front of like family or just not between us two. There's certain things you keep special in a relationship, and I wanted to be able to have that as well because I think that that's something unique that we wouldn't get with just the public vows.
And see, we're having a photographer in our private vows, but it's like one person who nobody's really like super friends with, so it's like it's okay, like she can hear it. She's getting, McKenna and I will both cry, I'd say, at the first look and when she's walking down the aisle. I'll cry for sure,
I'm gonna be a mess,
and she will cry. Like well, if she doesn't, that's really gonna stink now, but like I think she will. So it's crazy.
Me and McKenna were debating who we thought was gonna cry first. And I was like, I'll be honest, I think I'm going to cry the moment I see you. And she was like, yeah, but the thing is, I think I might be crying as I turn to go down the aisle. So I was like, well, if that's the case, I don't think I'm going to cry before I see you. So like maybe you'll cry first.
So wait, how are you guys doing that? Since her dad is marrying you guys, is he
So
still walking her?
He'll walk her down. I'll just go first. Because normally you go officiant and then everyone else. I don't want to spoil it, but we have like a thing to do. Because the officiant is like who brings the bride or whatever. We have a way to get around that because he's both.
Okay.
That I'm excited for.
I'm excited for your wedding. I feel like there's some secretiveness here.
No, I mean it's not a huge secret. It's just kind of I will say it's something to lighten the mood because we don't want it to be a super serious or like focused thing. It's like we want people, and like my vows kind of help with that, and some of the stuff we know Chris is saying helps with that.
Yeah.
So does that because we have a big wedding party. We each have 8. I have 8 groomsmen, or I have 7 groomsmen and a best man. She's got 8 bridesmaids. And I'll be honest, I set the number. There was none of them I like couldn't have. But we've got that. We've got 4 sets of grandparents, me and my mom, her and her dad. Like that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that'll actually, I said the vows will be the longest. That'll be the longest part of the ceremony. But after that, we like want people to loosen up and like shake their butt around so they're not numb in the seat or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of loosen up.
I felt like my wedding was very serious the more we're talking about it.
No, I mean, I think there were moments that were, but like your vows, loosen it up. You guys did the fun. Me and McKenna might take it where it's like, hey, no pictures in the ceremony, so take this minute, everyone take the picture. That was fun. Like I think you had.
I
moments
didn't even
loosen
plan
up.
that either.
We really liked that because we really don't want phones and pictures from the photographer during it.
Yeah,
but that's a good. We liked that idea.
I think the pastor just does that because we didn't know that was gonna happen. Yeah. But dude, what was I gonna say? Never mind. You go.
No, I was just like, we're doing like, we don't want people to take pictures or videos like during our, like when we're getting married. Like we want it to be us who post first.
Yes.
Just like, I mean, like that's our day. And like, we're blessed that like you guys, people are sharing it with us, but it's like, it's what we want to post. Like we want to put out our pictures, but somebody's still going to take a picture. Like it's going to happen.
Do you feel like this is what I was going to say. Do you feel like you're going to read your vows word for word from what you wrote? Because I don't know if you remember my vows. I was off script 90%.
We did. Really? we could tell.
I couldn't tell that at all.
We could tell.
Bro, I wrote those and I didn't realize like when I write I don't expand to what my brain actually wants to say. So it was like bullet points pretty much.
Well, so I've gone back when I wrote like speeches for like classes, I did bullet points. I didn't have a script.
Yeah.
Right now I have one, but I've been like, I read through them and whatever my brain wants to say, I just put in there because I want to have everything I want to say, but I want it to be how I would naturally say it. So I wrote it, then read it, and I was like, that's not how I'd say it. And I'd switch it around that way. So I think I'll have a word for word one written. I might change it a little bit, but I think I'll be pretty close.
I will not go word for word. I'll have like ideas and like, cause I've already started like I haven't finished my vows, but like I have ideas of what I want to say, and like I have like quotes of like stuff that like famous people have said of like marriage as itself, and so it's like I will not be like reading straight off of a letter. Like I will be like, okay, like this is what I wanted to say, and like say it.
Yeah.
So I think more like what you did, like more off script, but I'm also not entertaining people like you are like in front of a bunch of people when you did that. Like,
Yeah,
it would
true.
just be me, her, and a photographer.
Uh-huh.
I'll be honest, we all left yours and we're like, those were very Foster vows, like in the best way, like in a good way. It was like, I think any other way, like we could tell that you weren't going word for word. You had the break for the emotion, but like that was so authentically you. And I think that's the most important thing about vows is like, it's just you in words, and yours absolutely represented.
Dude, I finished my vows like the night before because I just feel like I didn't want to write them like a month before. I wanted I wanted to say how I felt like as close as to the moment as possible,
Right.
which I wasn't gonna write them like walking up to the ceremony. But
I mean, I've had for 2 years, I've done what Jay said, where I've been writing down like ideas.
Yeah,
in the notes
I did
page
that, yeah.
for mine and for my speech at Jace's wedding, where like I'm just writing ideas of little blurbs I could put in there. But I like recently have what could be a final draft. But I'm gonna keep looking back at it to change, because like what you said, I want it to feel right.
You don't think you'll have a final draft till? Do you think that's weird, or do you think you won't
No,
have a final draft?
not at
till
all.
So
night
I
before?
have it in my
No.
phone. I'm gonna write it in the morning of, because McKenna got us matching vow books.
Yeah.
I don't want to start on page 8 of my book. I want to open up to page 1 and read there.
Yeah.
But I have it in my notes, and I'm gonna rewrite there and then write it once down the morning of.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's what I would do too. Like I'm gonna probably wait. It may be the night before, honestly, where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write down everything, like finish it. I may have like people look over sections that don't, like if I don't think they sound right, be like read part of it, but I'm not gonna share everything.
I wasn't gonna tell to anyone. It was gonna be a total secret. And then I finished what I thought was my final draft, and I was reading it, and I was like, this sucks. I think this is terrible. And so then I was like, I'm gonna send it to my mom. Like I think she'd like it. I think it'd be sweet. I think she would know a balance of like the funny and sentimental. And I sent it to her. She said, perfect. Don't change a thing. I said, all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
So, like I need it. And granted, she would lie to me. Like even if it wasn't perfect, she would be like, sounds great.
Yeah.
But she said, perfect. Don't change a word. I go, all I needed to hear. I probably will change little words here and there,
Yeah.
but like I just need someone else, because I was sitting there reading and I was like, this is awful. This is bad.
Nice, dude. So you guys both say you're definitely gonna cry at the wedding.
I'm gonna be a mess.
Dude, that's funny because Macy asked me like the second week we were dating. She was like, "Are you gonna cry at our wedding?" Like, and I was always like, "I don't know." And she would ask me that monthly, weekly, for the whole however long, 3 years, or I don't even remember how long we dated, but however long it was. She would always ask me like, "Are you gonna cry at our wedding? Are you gonna cry at our wedding?" And I was always like, "I don't know. I can't tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna fake it. You know, I'm gonna do whatever's real." And then, yeah, I was down bad. Actually, I was up good.
Right. Like in the best way, you were emotional.
Yeah, that was.
But it's like
I don't think I've ever cried. I haven't cried that much, like in a happy way ever, or in a sad way.
when you see people cry, you're gonna cry. Like that's
Yeah.
how like I am, and so I'm like, there's gonna be at least I can think like 5 people who are gonna be crying.
Wait, so were you crying at my wedding?
No.
Okay,
not
I was
like
gonna
that.
say-
I started to tear up. Like
Really?
my eyes got. I mean, I don't know. No tears fell, but like I got a little emotional.
Yeah, like I would say that too.
Yeah.
But,
Looking
I mean,
back at the video, I was like, bro, there were some people. Macy's cousin Grace. Did you see the? Oh, I don't think we didn't send the picture out. There was a picture of me and Macy like kissing, and she was like down bad. I don't want to say what you think. She
Yeah.
was crying hard, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out Grace, but so bad. Not bad, so funny. But yeah. Anyways, do we want to do some marriage advice?
Sure.
Sure.
Well,
What's
I
your
guess
advice?
y'all aren't married, but I'll tell you my marriage advice.
I can give relationship advice.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. So, your wedding is a funeral in a way, because you're going there and you're dying to yourself. If you feel me, like when you go in there, Spencer is now not Spencer. McKenna is now like 50% of you is what it's gonna feel like. Like I don't feel like me anymore. I feel like me and Macy are just bonded in a way that, I mean, we're married, you know. It's so much different now, and I didn't think it would be, but it is so much different now, dude. And like even just doing this podcast, back in the day I would have just did it. Now I have to check with Macy, make sure we're good. And I know, and like I know her, and I know she'll say it's good, but then I have to think like, is it actually good? You know, you gotta like, I don't know, it's just different. Like you gotta think of a wedding as a funeral in a way where it's the end of your personal life and the beginning of your married life, and married life is not the same as dating at all if you do it right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, for me, I know it's not the way you're like supposed to. Coming this fall will be 3 years me and McKenna have lived together. And
Yeah,
so
no,
and
that's
like
true.
the biggest thing for us that's changing is her last name. Like we kind of it is huge deal to us. Like it is awesome. And I do think that there will be unexpected changes. But to us, we have already kind of started to learn how to live like that. Like we've had a shared calendar for 4 years now, like on our for our phones and stuff. We do check in with each other. But I think that it changes whenever you're married. Like whether we think we have it all figured out or not. Like I know things are going to be so much different in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty crazy that y'all been living with each other 3 years. I guess it'll still be different though, bro.
Absolutely.
You won't even realize. But here's another thing. Marriage is actually very easy. Like what I just said, just remember this too. Marriage is so easy if you did dating correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you already had those tough conversations and you know that you are in line, marriage is tough, but like it's so much better, you know? And it's really not that tough if you dated correctly, but where people go wrong is, you know, they forget to have that one conversation. Maybe it's finance, maybe it's how many kids, which you better be talking about how many kids you want.
Right.
But just little, like you forget, you're like, oh crap, I forgot to have that conversation, or I never told her about this demon hiding in the closet, you know, and then everything gets exposed, you know? So as long as you have been honest and let it all out, if you know McKenna, for both of you, if you know her fully and she knows you fully and you've had all those conversations, marriage is a lot easier than people may think. But if you ask the wrong person, someone might tell you it's very hard, but that might be because they didn't date correctly. So anybody out there, date correctly, bro. Come on now. Date correctly and marriage it's really not that hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think if stuff is hard, it shouldn't be the marriage. Things around the marriage should be hard. But like we've talked about, one thing you don't think about is other people just get raised differently. And when you get raised differently, you have different things that you emphasize. Like when you say, let's do chores, let's clean the house, you think of totally separate things. When you think of like morals you want to raise your kids with, you're thinking from your household, what you were raised in perspective. They're thinking of theirs. You got to find what your household is of you two. And so we've talked about that, of habits that like, if the other person does, I don't really care if McKenna does certain things, but I think our kids should learn it, or vice versa. Things I do that she doesn't care if I do. But then once you think of it as a perspective of passing it on to a kid, that's been the biggest thing for us, is finding the way to talk about that, where I don't want to sound like I'm harping on the habit of hers, but I just wouldn't want my kid to. Like one thing I do that McKenna doesn't care. I'm an iPad kid. I watch YouTube when I eat dinner a lot. Like I'll have my phone or a computer or something set up. If she told me like, hey, I wouldn't want our kids to be on technology while we eat, it wouldn't make me feel like she's saying I can't do it, but just, hey, our kids shouldn't. Those kind of habits. Yeah. And that's a conversation we started having, especially in the last like year and a half once we were out of college, of that conversation was the most like, whoa, like we're talking about like how we want to raise our kids. And that was a very adult thing, was learning how to talk about that.
And we've definitely, like McKenna and I have started talking about like conversations like about how we want to raise our kids too. Cause like McKenna and I came from very different backgrounds, I guess is what you can say. And like neither is right, neither is wrong. It's just, I came from growing up in Kansas City, big area, high school of 2,000 people. McKenna came from a high school of 10 people. Like, not actually, but like it's what it feels like when you're there. And just like we've talked about like how we want to raise our kids. Like I'm like, nothing against your parents, nothing against my parents, but like let's be better than both of our parents. Like let's be better parents. Like from gain the knowledge we've learned from what I've learned from mine, what you've learned from yours, and put it together to like be like great parents instead of just like being like, oh yeah, like we're okay parents. Like let's like strive to be better than anything we've grown up seeing, like so we can raise our kids the right way.
That's facts. That should always be the goal, because we all have had great parents, but their goal for us as well is to be better than them. Absolutely. So that should always be.
Yeah, like that shouldn't like your mom shouldn't be like, oh my God, like that's exactly right. Like she wants you to learn from her things, good or bad, and take them and grow.
Because if you're worse, then that's actually
Yeah.
It was like
It shows back on
yeah,
them.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's good, dude. It's literally most problems come from conversations that have not been had, or you had the conversation but you shared like 90% of how you felt, and then you
Yeah.
kept 10% back.
Yeah.
And then that's where most issues in a relationship stem from.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for me. I hate conflict. Like, I'm a people pleaser, and so I had to learn how to deal with conflict. And one thing I learned from my parents that they did well was they almost never argued in front of us. If we were having trouble financially as a family, I wouldn't know it as a kid. If my parents were having trouble, I wouldn't have known it as a kid. Other than when my dad got kicked to the couch because he snored too loud until he got a CPAP. Like, that's the only time I thought they were having trouble, and they weren't. He just was a loud snorer.
Yeah.
But because of that, I realized when I got older, I didn't learn how adults dealt with conflict. To me, they didn't have conflict. So when we started to have it, my instinct was always to avoid it. I had to learn how to deal with it head on and have a little bit of an uncomfortable conversation to avoid a very uncomfortable situation.
That's the truth.
And
right
that was really hard. And I'm still working through it, where there's sometimes it's easier to just ignore it short term, but you have to kind of approach those things head on.
there.
No, and I understand what you're saying, because like McKenna's kind of like you, like she does not want to like go to conflict. Like, I'm very much like, okay, let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we can fix this. What do we need to do differently? And a lot of it just stems from like, it's always one comment. Like, one comment can set off a bomb. And
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, how do we avoid that comment? And it's like working through that, trying to figure out like what we both need, and not just like rushing in head first, being like, okay, well, I need this. Well, I need this. And it's like, you just go back and forth. Instead of like doing that, we always like, okay, what are you actually upset about? Like,
Mhm.
is it really something that like happened right here? Or is it one of your professors is being terrible at their job? Like, or is something at work bothering you? Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? And trying to like actually communicate instead of just like arguing. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I see a lot of people like that I know who are in relationships, and they'll like, the first thing like that they do if something goes wrong is argue, instead of like trying to sit down, talk about it, fix it. It's like, no, this is your fault. Like, this is what you did wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like if you're in a healthy relationship, you should always be able to understand if I feel like I have an issue with McKenna, I have to know that she is never going to intentionally be hurting me. So if she is, it's either accidental or I'm looking at it the wrong way, and I just need to approach her about that. She's not going to try to hurt me.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship where you're going to argue because they are trying to do that, it's not a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Like, if you are correct in that assumption, not a healthy relationship. I'm in a healthy relationship, so I'm either looking at it wrong or she doesn't realize something happened, and
Right.
and vice versa. If she thinks that like I did something to her, I either accidentally did it or didn't realize I did, and that's what that conversation can avoid. Is typically it's just you thinking something, and then when you get down to it, one or the other just didn't realize something happened.
That is so true, bro. Because if you, dude, if you just assume that's a great way to look at it. If you assume and understand that they're not trying to hurt, like
Right.
they didn't mean to piss you off. Like,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
not,
Yeah.
that was not their intention. You know what I'm saying? What other advice y'all got? I feel like I could say some more, but I want to hear some of y'all's.
Okay, it's the stereotypical TikTok everyone's seen of the like, no relationships ever 50-50. I'm going to come
that
home,
one.
say I got 20, so I'm going to give you 80, right?
Yeah.
That one, you're not coming home and saying I got 24. Did we talk about that on that
We
the
did.
last one?
Yeah.
So, but I will say it is real that it isn't always 50-50. It's about just getting everything done.
Yeah.
Don't think about it in terms of numbers. Don't think I got 35 today, but just think about it as like what needs to be done. You're right, like you were saying, it's not Foster and Macy. It's Foster and Macy. Like
Yeah.
as one, it's the Huggins as one.
Uh-huh.
What needs to be done for you, the Huggins? Let's get it done. Like
Yeah.
we've got to do the dishes, we got to vacuum, we got to clean this. That's not Spencer's got to do this, McKenna's got to do. No, Spencer and McKenna have to get these things done. How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
Approaching everything as a team mindset, not a me and you, not a me or you. It's a me and you will get this done.
Yeah. For sure.
I'd say like being comfortable being uncomfortable. Like having that conversation that's like, okay, I don't really want to talk about it right now. Like, say you just got back from a long day at work, something's wrong, like with something going on at your house, and it's like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm tired. I just want to sleep. But like, it's gonna make us stronger if I talk about it. Like
Definitely.
trying to not only put yourself first, but put you and your partner first. Because like once like I'm married, like it's not me and McKenna, like what he's saying, it's McKenna and I. Like
Yeah.
we're together, we're one. It's no like independence anymore. Like everything, like I have to be dependent on her, just like she has to be dependent on me. And obviously, like we have very different skill sets, very different jobs, like, and we have to figure out how to work together instead of working like apart.
Yeah.
Like so, it's just kind of like weighing like what's really important to you and what's important to your spouse or significant other, instead of just like, this is what I think is most important and this is what we're gonna do. So
That's the truth. The being uncomfortable is so essential because, dude, if you put that conversation off and just, you know, try to forget about it, it's just like it's gonna fill that cup up, and once that cup starts to overflow, now you got some real issues, but you don't even remember what you're mad about because it's been pushed back for so long, you know.
Yeah. Then you just feel the anger. That's the biggest thing, and I've gotten better about it. When I was talking about avoid conflict, I would just let it bottle up. And then at some point I just know I'm angry, but I've forgotten why. I just know that like, oh, something happened from someone at some time and I don't like it. And that's all I can do is like, I don't like how I feel and I don't know how to fix it now. And so like using your partner, that they are the one that can help you through that. You just have to approach it head on. They're there for you. You just have to, I have to let her help me.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, what's worse, talking about this now and having a very uncomfortable conversation, but then we get through it, or having it build up, especially that's another reason people don't have those conversations during dating. It's like they're afraid to either lose the person and be single, or they're just afraid of the conversation in general. But it's like, what's the alternative, dude? You're going to get married and still have that issue. Like people are afraid of the uncomfortable conversation, but you got to think of how beneficial it is and, you know, how important it is, honestly. But I don't know, boys. This is 46 minutes in. What else do we want to talk about?
Well, I was going to say, it's been about a half hour since you switched that camera the last time.
Oh, shoot. Yeah,
it was
it
at 19.
is. Okay, we'll do one more switch.
okay.
All right, let's, I know this is about wedding stuff, but let's talk about something else. Unless y'all want to talk about wedding stuff.
I'd talk about whatever you want to talk about,
I'm
Foster.
good with whatever.
Let's talk about life. What y'all been up to?
Planning a wedding.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, besides the wedding
Okay.
stuff, what's... I mean, Icon Pools. We got the Icon Orange back in stock, by the way.
I did see that.
But it's not the right... It's honestly not the right orange.
It's a little bit lighter of an orange.
Yeah.
But I might get the blue this time because that's our other color.
Okay.
But yeah, so I
Icon Blue.
So I work at Icon Pools. So last year, my first year working there, I was the retail manager, marketing manager. Now I am the project manager doing the marketing, and I'm training my replacement to be a retail manager. Kind of doing all three jobs in a way right now because he is still in school, at least for this semester.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And I'm not just saying this because it's recorded, but my bosses invest a lot in me to grow as a person, and so they make me want to like invest a lot back. So I'm learning a lot of very new things. I went to school for communication. Like I wanted to do marketing type stuff, and I'm getting to do that, but I'm doing more of that than I wanted and totally different jobs from that, but I'm really enjoying it. Like I like customer service, even the bad customers. I like learning from it and being able to kind of grow and talk through it and learn how to, let me get the answer to your question. Here's how you calm them, things like that. Even that side of it, I enjoy. And I do think having good bosses and good owners of a company are huge. And
not just because they're family.
Mine are also family, and it helps. I've had the relationship with them. I worked before, like I know them on a personal and a professional level. I definitely have everything. Like I owe everything to nepotism. I've earned none of what I've done. Neither of you two know what nepotism do.
No, I was like, what?
Nepotism.
Hey, nobody else watching probably does either.
Nepotism is like when you like your dad hires you for a job you don't deserve.
That's
So
what
I was making a joke that like
I got that
I
from
didn't deserve
context
it 'cause his
clues,
family.
but
that didn't land.
Nepotism.
But
Word of the day.
But I do enjoy it. It's like nepo baby. You've ever heard that?
I went to school to be a PE teacher, bro. I don't know what nepotism.
So Jayce, what have you been doing?
I'm just trying to finish up my classes. I mean, in between that, I go play some pickleball, play some golf. Yeah,
I thought you were going to say something about pickleball, Spencer.
Well, because I've kind of backed off it the last couple months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, Jayce, what are you in school for again?
I'm just getting my regular health and human performance degree.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get a degree.
You were there for PE for a while,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but then my whole schedule got messed up because Sterling College is not a great place to stay on track. So
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, they're
Shout out
Struggling.
Sterling.
No,
maybe the
I
opposite.
don't know if that's the time you do it.
I don't think it is either. But
Not shout.
Yeah, reverse shout out.
yeah,
It's like you get a message from the administration.
and they want to send me a message, they can. That's fine.
As long as you get that piece of paper in May.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They probably hold it back from me now, but it's okay.
Oh, great.
No, but just been trying to spend as much time with like our friends in Sterling as much as we can, and my fiance's family as well. Just because I mean we're moving here, and it's gonna be hard to like see them as much as we do now.
Yeah.
But I mean, her parents go to Kansas City a lot, and like go to the Chiefs game, KU games, all that.
Nice.
So I mean, like
That's sick,
we'll be
dude.
able to see them, so it'll be good.
Dang, how's she feel moving out here?
She's excited, but she's also nervous, and rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a 4-hour change. Like she's
Yeah.
moving 4 hours away, and I mean, she's never not lived in a town of I think it was like 2,000
8 people?
population, not 8, but it feels like 8. But I mean, like it's a big difference. I mean, we're gonna live in Lee's Summit, so I mean, it's a big change from Sterling,
Yeah.
obviously. But she's excited. I think the thing that's the most nerve-wracking for her is like a job, like going to work at a bigger place than. I mean, she's only worked in Sterling,
Yeah.
and like right now she works at Subway. Subway has 2 employees on the clock at all times. That's a minute, like that's the most. So it's like working at a place that's like 50 employees all working at the same time. It's a
Yeah.
big change.
Where's she about to be working?
It's a great question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Subway, though.
Yeah, no, not Subway.
Oh, that's funny. That will be tough. My mom did the same. My mom didn't come from a small town, but she grew up in Waterloo, Iowa, and then moved down here.
My mom had a similar thing as well, where she came from a small, like, raised in a small town and went bigger as well.
She'll thrive down here, dude. How could you not? It's such a great.
I think she will
She's coming
too.
to a great place.
I think she will too. I mean, it's like we've met a lot of people, so it's not like she's just like packing up her stuff and moving out here by herself and has to meet everybody. Like
Yeah.
she knows all of my friends. She's made friends with my friends and their significant others. So I mean, it's like she's got people.
Yeah.
here. And I think her family will move here in a couple years. Hopefully, I mean, that's the plan.
So,
I don't know. But
Y'all get married, and then so your marriage is kind of like the shift in your life. It's like you go from Sterling, wedding, now you live here.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
kind of how it was for me too, because I went PE teacher, wedding, roofer.
Yeah, you're like within a week, like both of your lives are totally flipped upside down. Hers is her entire life from birth to then.
Yeah.
Yours is like the life you currently have set gets flipped on its head within a
yeah.
week.
And it's like it's not only that. I mean, she's had a lot of changes recently just because of she is no longer an athlete. I mean, in high school she's a 3-sport athlete. This past fall was her last collegiate season of a sport ever.
Yeah.
Like that's the last official season she'll have. Besides, like, I mean, we'll go play pickleball. We'll play in volleyball leagues here. Like,
Yeah.
but it's not the
But
same.
it's different.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
Can play slow pitch softball.
Oh gosh.
She would be the best player on that field.
Probably.
At that league that I came and watched you play in,
When did you watch though?
like 4 years ago.
We good now,
I
bro.
base coached
We
for
won
you
the
once.
championship last year.
Oh, that's sick. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, we're back, baby. I don't know how we kind of got lucky. Christian moved out to Kansas, and he was our pitcher, but he came back for the playoffs, and we went on a run all the way. Yeah, but
Like the Bananas went from a low seed to winning. I mean, we
honestly, it
didn't
was a
quite win,
very
but-
similar situation. Because like the best team, like none of their guys showed up, so we got to just wipe them
That's
out,
insane.
Yeah,
and then we got their road to the championship.
that's funny.
Okay, dude, it's March. Let's do some bold March Madness predictions.
Mizzou
'Cause
Final
this is
Four.
gonna. Okay, hold on. Before you go that bold, this drops on Monday, so the first weekend will be over. So let's
I think
make
the
a
first
bold
2
prediction and
rounds.
see if any of us can. Yeah, it'll be the first. Yeah, 2 rounds. Yeah. Let's see if anybody could predict something bold and be correct. You said Mizzou. So you're saying Mizzou Sweet 16 because it only goes to Sweet 16 when this
Yeah,
drops.
yeah. I'm saying when this comes out, Mizzou will still be in. I had
Okay.
them at Final Four. I've made 2 brackets, and I'm Mizzou Final Four at least in one of them. Like my one I was trying to do legit, and I don't watch, so it's not that legit. I had them Final Four.
Huh.
Because I don't want to just do all 1 seeds. Like
Yeah.
that, I don't think it's going to happen. So I think I had them in Wisconsin as the non-1 seeds.
After this podcast, I'm about to drop the Underwater Fly Zone bracket challenge.
Yeah.
Winner gets I'm thinking the winner gets a free gold box. It's like $200 worth of merch. Second
make a
place
bracket
gets
there.
I was gonna say now I gotta.
yeah. Second
gotta
place
try to
gets
do
the
that.
silver. Third gets the bronze. I don't know if I want to do that because that's a lot of
That's a
money.
lot.
Yeah.
But I might. I don't know. I haven't decided on the prizes, but I am dropping that bracket challenge after this. My bold prediction. Actually, you go first.
My bold prediction, I think North Carolina's a 15 seed,
11 seed.
11
11.
seed.
Playing game 11 seed.
Yeah.
They're getting to the Sweet 16.
Really?
I'm pretty sure. Okay.
They barely lost to Duke.
They
And I
barely
know they
made
didn't
the
have
dang
Cooper
tournament.
I would say
tournament.
so. I don't watch much. I see more of like the media around it.
Yeah.
Everyone says that they shouldn't have even made it this year, and
Yeah.
they only
They
made it
should-
because
oh.
it's like it's North Carolina. Also, their athletic director is on the selection committee. There's been a lot of drama about that. The athletic
Yeah.
director for UNC is a part of the selection committee
West
for March
Virg-
Madness.
the West Virginia like governor is suing the committee
Yeah.
because they say they should have been in it, and honestly,
Wait,
there's
'cause
no
that's-
reason they should have not been in it.
That's who Duke beat because their guy stepped in the lane, right?
Bro,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't watched
Yeah.
it. Maybe they're the best team in the country. I just
They're
know
not,
the talk was like they made it because they're North Carolina and they're supposed to be good. But if you just looked at their resume, apparently they weren't.
Well, what if they're in 11? They're playing six seed.
Yeah. The 11 seed in the last 10 years has won more games than the 6 seed.
So
The-
then I like my odds.
The 11 seed
Yeah.
has won 60 or 55% of the time over the last 10 years.
Well, for
That
North
is the
Carolina
number.
to get to the Sweet 16, they got to win 3 games.
Okay, then I'll just say 2. I'll say 2. I'll change
So
it. Let's
they get
go
to
back.
yeah, because they have to play in.
They have to play in the
Tuesday or
Vegas.
Wednesday.
yeah. Okay, then they'll.
They
ooh,
they
then
play in, then they have to win 64 and round of 32
By
for your
Sunday
prediction
afternoon, they're gonna have to win 3 games between now and Sunday.
to have gotten to win this post.
But they
I
could
don't
do
know.
it though.
They're gonna lose first game now, but it's okay.
Hey, the
What's
KU
your-
won the national championship like 3 years ago. They played North Carolina in the national championship, and North
Yeah, I
Carolina
know
was
that
like a
game.
9 seed though.
yeah.
So they've made it all the way before
But
being a
isn't
low
that
seed.
the game where North Carolina was up by a bunch and then blew the lead?
They were up by like
Yeah,
20 in
then
the second
that's
half.
not helping my case. That makes it
But all
worse.
they need is the Sweet 16.
Yeah, to me,
Ugh,
it's
yeah.
4 rounds farther than you.
You
have to
said
say.
bold. That's I'm going
Okay,
with that.
bold prediction: Omaha wins their first round game, the 15
against St.
seed.
John's.
Yes, and then they get beat by KU.
Dude, I'll be honest. I think my second one might be that KU loses first round.
I wouldn't even care.
honestly,
bro.
it is not even a bold take to say that
I
they're
don't
out
think
by the
so
time this
either.
posts.
No.
No.
It's like likely that they don't make it through 2 rounds.
Yeah.
All
And,
my friends that are KU fans have sounded miserable this year.
it's just annoying to watch. It's like they don't even care about
It's
the
terrible.
team.
And like Hunter Dickinson, they're like, he's going to put up 19 and 9, but horribly, give up a bunch of points on defense, but he's going to get his numbers. Like, all my KU fan friends have hated this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's to the point now where I'm almost more of a Mizzou fan than a KU fan.
So the 2 teams I'm really rooting for, Mizzou and Wisconsin. Mizzou's because I watched them in person, and like I know like Drew's from Mizzou, so I know the most players on that team. And then Wisconsin because I have a friend who's a Wisconsin fan, and he texts about them all the time. And now I like John Tanji or Tanji, however you pronounce his last
but
name.
the Omaha thing was not my main prediction though.
Oh,
This
okay.
is the big one. Gosh dang it. So how many times have I done it? So there's two things to this. One, I really have been a Mizzou fan because I've been going to Columbia a bunch recently. Like I never went to Columbia as of October 1st, and now I've been like 5 times, and it's been 5 great experiences. So I've been trying to be a Mizzou fan, but they got placed against the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats in the first round, also known as the Drake Bulldogs. I don't know if y'all know, but Drake's head coach is Northwest basketball coach from last year, and like we had a 4-peat. He took all of our guys. They're the starting lineup for Drake, and they went 30-3, and they get paired against Mizzou. I'm like, the one year I'm gonna root for Mizzou, they get paired against Drake.
Yeah, that's
And my bold prediction is that Drake goes to the Sweet 16 and beats Kansas and goes to the Elite 8.
That'd be cool.
I don't think they're going past that, but
I have a tendency to root for the teams that I played against in club volleyball, like all the time. Like Drake, we played against. They started a club the same year we did, so like we felt very much like brother clubs.
oh yeah,
Creighton was like the club to beat in our region, so I root for them a lot. Omaha also started a club the same year as us. We beat them every year, and it felt good to be like we would beat Drake most of the time in Omaha every time, and it was like okay, we're a step ahead of other people, the same ones. But
yeah.
they're totally unrelated. They have nothing. The club volleyball team with like dudes who couldn't play college sports have nothing to do with this D1 basketball team. But like I'm rooting for like Drake, Creighton, Omaha.
Hey, Drake and Mizzou play in Wichita.
Yeah, I know. I think Drew's going to the game.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to go, but I kind of got to work. So, and I'm going to Dallas on Friday. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's
you
tough
were
to
gonna-
spin.
yeah. I don't think that's happening, dude. I haven't been at home. I was gonna say this. I haven't been at home at the apartment a night with nothing to do in probably 3 weeks. Since I went to Dallas, it's been a minute, bro. It's been crazy. But now we're going to Dallas again, and it's going to be great. Today I shipped another order to Texas. Shout out to everybody from Texas. Dude, we've shipped like 15 orders there since the Dallas trip.
That's dope.
Holy cow.
And now we're about to go again. So hopefully, like, we actually have like a little
You built a little
Spawn,
fan base.
yeah. little pocket of Underwater Fly Zone supporters in Dallas.
Yeah. That'd be dope.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of already happened a little bit, but
Mhm.
I mean, 15 people, that's cool, but it's not a ton. But next week, we'll have a little more. But anyways, that's my bold prediction. Drake's going to the Sweet 16.
That's cool. I didn't know the whole starting lineup was there too. I knew the coach. I didn't know the.
Well, he took
I didn't either.
Northwest didn't even make their own conference tournament this year. Like their whole team left
Yeah.
and went
Although
to Drake.
that's kind of college sports now.
Yeah,
I have a big gripe with the way that I liked NIL in terms of like players get paid. I agreed with that.
Yeah, but now it's ridiculous.
The transfer portal not having to sit out. I think you should be able to transfer once and play immediately, and then if you transfer again, you have to sit out for a year.
Yeah, I
like
agree
you
with
used to
that.
have to because
Yeah.
now, like coaches can't build. You have to like coddle the freshmen, so you can't play older guys that are better. But then if the freshmen stink, your team's gonna sink. But if you don't play the freshmen, they're just gonna transfer. So it's like you can't build a program. I think it's so dumb. I think
See,
it's out of hand.
It's only like that at D1. Like
Yeah.
NAIA, if you transfer from like within your conference,
Mhm.
you can't
Yeah.
play for a year. You have to sit out.
Right, which
Well,
is
that's-
that's
yeah.
how it was before they did NIL.
Yeah, and,
and I absolutely think it's just gone too far where it's like just whoever can spend the money gets it. There's also a big thing where they promise players they're like I'm gonna get you $3 million and then they don't pay it. I think Michigan or Michigan State they did that this year. They had like $5 million in like promised NIL that was never paid, and they're now like promising other players more money, and it's like see that they're not gonna do that. Like understand it, but it's just who can offer me the most money? I'm an 18-year-old kid. Offer me millions of dollars to play basketball for you.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous too. But
Yeah, it's like you should be able to sell my jersey with my name on it, and I get money
Definitely.
from that. But
Yeah.
like that's what NIL should be in my mind. Like I should be
Yeah.
able to market myself, not this random booster should be able to pay me $3 million to
Yeah.
play.
the
here
amount of
instead of there.
DMs I get from random college athletes, I would love to sponsor you with my NIL or whatever. I'm like, or would you sponsor me? Or I don't even know how it works, but like there was a dude, Michigan State safety reached out. I thought he was like a supporter. He was just trying to get money from Underwater Plaza to like sponsor him.
Yeah,
I was like, hey, bro, no. I was like,
yeah.
love you, bro. I appreciate you reaching out, but yeah, you have less followers than the Ranger Tree Football League account. Ranger Tree Football's getting an NIL before you, my boy. Jayce Bleed's getting an NIL.
No, I wish.
Honestly, I should have.
You missed out on the chance to sponsor me.
Yeah.
I was a collegiate athlete too.
He
Don't
was.
you forget?
I'm bad, boys. I was too small back then.
I was a D1 collegiate athlete. Don't ask for any context.
All right, bro. I'm hitting up Wesley right now.
You got a couple more months.
Hey, you got Hudson.
About a month more.
Oh,
Al-
true.
Hudson-
Also about a couple
Hudson-
months.
Yeah, but still, Hudson would be a good option.
He like actually has.
Like he actually can win his conference.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hit up Luke to do a podcast, and he left me on open. I'm like, bro, are you like famous now? Like, we used to hang out. Like, what happened?
That's crazy.
Okay, I don't even know what we're talking about now. I love you guys. Hope this episode was like good, informative for somebody. I don't know who else is getting married out there right now. Shout out my boy Christian. He gets married this weekend, actually. I'll be in Dallas.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm going to have to miss that. Just thought about that. Hey,
Don't
love
do
you,
the
Christian.
guilt live on camera.
Yeah. Hey, he didn't come to mind, though, so it's okay. Right?
Sure.
it depends.
I'll be honest. That's kind of my thing now. If I'd invite someone to my wedding, I have no expectation that they invite me. But if I invited someone to mine and you get married and I'm not invited to yours, I'm gonna be a little annoyed. That's my
That's
barometer
fine.
now for wedding invitations.
I'll go if I can. That's my thing. But or also make time for it if it's like,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And I made time for Christians.
You asked me like 2
That
weeks
just
ago.
was unfortunate.
You were like, "Hey Spencer, when's your wedding?" I was like, "This day." You go, "Okay, good," because I planned something for the weekend before.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Is that it?
Yeah.
I think so.
Sure.
All right. Love you guys. subscribe. Peace. You want to click that?
Deuces.